and is currently a scrub nurse at Scripps Memorial Hospital. Amal worked around the clock in 1982 during the Lebanon-Israel War, saving lives of many Lebanese civilians and Palestinian refugees. In 2001, she became involved with the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund and went to Gaza as a member of an American open heart surgical team. Since 2001, this young lady has returned every year to either Gaza or the West Bank. Gaza and or the West Bank. And will be leaving in a few days, March 27th, for this year's medical mission. My friend, Amal Jubran.
Peace with you guys. I cannot stand here without mentioning anything about March 30, March 16, March 8, March 21. What that's mean to me. Yesterday was International Women's Day. 21 will be Mother's Day. March 16, it's our solidarity to our American daughter. She sacrificed herself in front of 9-ton Caterpillar bulldozer that ran over her twice 6 years ago to prevent a Palestinian's house from home demolishing by the Israeli occupation force. And the last one, March 30, and we will talk about it later. What motivates me to be a peace activist? Simple question and simple answer. As a mother, as a daughter. I grew up with my parents, my dad Lebanese, my mother Palestinian, and my dad stayed with my mother when my mother tried to bring her sister when she was in boarding school in Beirut, to bring her in 1947 to get into Palestine, to Haifa, but was under the Israeli control. And 3 times they tried to bring my Aunt Becky, her sister, and Israel expelled her. And the last one, she expelled her to Jordan, to the West Bank. In the meantime, my dad stuck with my mom. He have relatives, his parents, her brothers, in Tyre, in Sur, Lebanon. But he stayed as a fisherman in Haifa, Kishon River, on the Mediterranean Sea. Early in 1960s, I was a little girl when some troop of Zionists came to Kishon River and burned my dad's boat and his fishing nest. And that's kind of discrimination to teach all the Arab guys, do not fish in this area. Take you back to 1947, what my mother did. She used to be 19 years old working in the refinery Haifa, IPC, which is Iraqi petrol pumped from Iraq and ported in Haifa. Haifa was in the best days of the century that time. And while she's working at the refinery, a terrorist attack from the Zionist troop attack on the refinery, killing and wounded over than 100 civilian laborers, employee. At the same time, massacre Sheikh town near Haifa, which if you look in the map today, you do not exist as Sheikh village. That time, my mom came like a angel of mercy, ran and helped with the blankets and the basic information and knowledge about medical aid to help and support the wounded people, transfer them to Hamzi Hospital, which is today Rambam Hospital. At the same time, It was collection between revenge. Some of the Arabs, some of the Palestinians wanted to revenge. So she had a good friend, a Jewish friend, his Mr. Ben Shalom. She gave him the key and she told him, go to room 3, stay there until I come back. That kind of relation my mom grew up and my dad. We in Haifa, we do not discriminate between religions, but we under the discrimination of the Israeli-powered Zionist power. Go back when I grew up, seeing my mother and my dad, and witness as a 6 days war when I was a child, and see my mom praying for safety of her sister, and demonstration in Tel Aviv and Haifa and Nazareth in the big city against the occupation. Then during the high school, we strike from the school. We wanted to we have the land day that we need to stop, and the land day that the commemoration for the last 33 years for the bloody day, March 30, when Israel killed 6 children and hundreds of people been arrested and beaten, and some of them my classmates beaten and arrested. I became, for none knowing, growing up with resistance in my heart. Justice have to be served wherever, where. Okay, what happened? 1980, Golan Heights, Israeli confiscation, more lands. At that time, I was a nurse. Some people with the open mind, and we wanted to help the Golanian, the Durzi, the Syrian people there. We went there with the medical aid and medicines and some information how they can handle their crisis. And why happened? Why? Because Israel wanted to trade them their own land so they can give them medical service and education. And they wanted to hold their lands. At the same time, Israel succeed to confiscate lands and demolish some houses. At the same time, like she did in the land day 33 years, when she killed all these children and confiscate after that 5,000 acres of land in Upper Galilee. Now we go where? To 1982, invading of South Lebanon, over and over since 1972, over and over, air missiles over south of Lebanon. My dad, his parents, his family in terror. My mom, they always were talking about it. I grew up near a print shop when my mother used to work, and I read all the newspaper, what is going on. Invading south of Lebanon wasn't easy. I volunteered with a medical professional team. We drove once a week to Golan Heights and tried to give our help, our support. During 1967, back to the 6 Days War, when I was a child, seeing my mother crying and reading the newspaper and the TV black and white and watching what is going black and white, wait until the evening until we see the TV, what is going on. It's not only that Israel occupied the East Jerusalem, West Bank, Gaza Strip, and Golan Heights. It was another badly bloody attack on USS Liberty that time. Till today, no justice served. 82, with the invading of Lebanon, late of 1982, I served in 82, helping overtime the patient. Why patient in Haifa? And they are from Lebanon, and the Palestinian refugees of Lebanon been there, because United Nations and the Red Cross, they had a huge number of injured people and they need desperate for help. They asked Israel to open some of the north part of Israel to a hospital to bring the patients in, and Israel earned big and a lot of dollars from that. compared just to help this patient, and I believe was a 3 million lira that day, a day to Israel to earn from that. Moved to United States, married and have children, 3 children. But my mind, my focused mind, keep persisting for justice to the people that I'm lucky to be in United States and have a good place to live, and feeling shame and feeling kind of pain. I left people suffering behind me. I need to keep going. I get involved with the ADC, with the PCRF, and I have some picture to share with you about my mission about PCRF. PCRF, what that means, it's a Palestinian Children Relief Fund. It started in 1991 by American, what? Oh, by American human rights activist, Mr. Steve Sosby. He went on his first trip to the West Bank. He witnessed the desperate need for medical attention to the children and to other adults too. He came with the idea with a non-profit, non-political, humanitarian medical mission. Since then, it's been spread wide globally. It's already have a 2 times 4-star charity aggregator as the best international humanitarian organization, providing 8 things. First of all, one, this is Rachel Corrie. If already mentioned about it, just stay there. Just Rachel Corrie. Okay. And first of all, we have 8 steps to go. What that means, PCRF. PCRF, first of all, one, providing free medical care to children that they cannot have their health attention care locally in West Bank, Gaza Strip, or Lebanon. They brought them abroad, either to United States or Europe or part of the Arab countries, and they get totally free treatment. 2, arranging professional troops, big troops, from United States and other countries, as I name it, going inside to the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and Lebanon, and provide a big, huge number of cases, surgery mostly, on children and adults too. 3, providing training to professionals, doctors and nurses and technicians of the local people, either training inside the occupation or they bring them abroad, such we did in Florida. We brought an anesthesiologist to train him for open heart cases, and he's from Deir el-Balah, Gaza. Or we brought Dr. Muhammad Aoudi to Bulgaria for 2 years for training for open heart cases, and so on so. And number 4, it's supplies and equipment and needs what they need there, as, for example, shipping wheelchairs and shipping OR beds and shipping hospital beds and so on, like powder milk and so on, charities from all over the world. And some equipment they really desperate for need. This is 4. 5, sponsoring a child program project. And 6, women project, which that mean the handicapped children, they desperate for need, daily for need. They no hope they can be better than what they are. They're going to be worse. So we have a sponsoring monthly a children or child that the family can take care of him. At the same time, we have a project for women, the widow women who lost their husband And this is the only way they can have good income to help their children, by having barley and some hands working that we can sell it for them, plus the olive oil and olive wood stuff and all that. Did I miss anything? I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the bottom line what we have, and we have books to share with you. You can have a chance to read about it. Now about my mission. Number one, arriving to Tel Aviv, and I am Israeli, easy for me to go to Tel Aviv. If we have other doctors from, for example, they like to volunteer from Jordan, they cannot go through Tel Aviv. They have to go from the bridges. And many Palestinians that I met and I work with, and they wanted to volunteer, and they are American citizen or Canadian citizen, they have to go through Jordan. They're not allowed to enter Tel Aviv airport, Ben Gurion. Lucky me, I can. We carry with me my supplies. In this box, I have an echo machine. In this box, I have an echo machine. In the big suitcase, I have all the material for OR, such gowns, masks, gloves, irrigation tubing, IV, as much as I can to collect. And barely, we here in the United States, we're so lucky. Everything is disposable. We use it once and we throw it away. Hey, don't throw it, give it to me. Everybody collect it, this is for me. They all know. So I carry. And what is left is my book bag and a small bag on my hand. That's my clothes. And my clothes is scrub clothes and only 1 or 2 dressy clothes, and that's it. Okay, I wanted to talk about the checkpoint because it's not easy to go in. Checkpoints it's really, yeah, this is one and you have about 4 or 5. This is going to Kalandia checkpoint, going to Ramallah. This is not easy to go to checkpoint. After you get searched in the airport, moving out of the airport, now you have to take the van that have Israeli tag on it and move to one of the side that they're not allowed to go anymore to the West Bank. Then you have to switch to another vehicle or van. They be waiting for you. And believe me, PCRF office there, very organized. And you go straight and it's safe for you guys. We pass, then we have to question us. They take our passport, they check it, then they allow us to go. And we always have from the United States and from the PCRF and from the Palestinian Health Ministry letters to carry with us so we can pass on, will be easy for us. I'm going to keep going about the checkpoints. The Gaza checkpoint areas is the حرام الواحد يروح هناك. It's a pain. It's a pain. 3 to 4 hours I sit in the sun. And I had another professional from Canada that he born in Jerusalem, and we have to stay behind. The American troop was easy for him to go in and out, the rest of our troop. And because I'm Israeli, so they have to hold me back. They took my papers. They took 3 pictures of me. Look like I'm a criminal in the front, and the left, and the side. Then they let you go into Gaza without your papers. And they tell you to come next day to take your papers. Lucky that the PCRF sent somebody else to take the paper for me. And we arrive there, it's already, we're losing 1 day. So we have patients, okay. We have patients be waiting for us in the waiting area. Some of them are fasting. Some of them, they need the second day. We try to arrange for the first day screening day to check with them how we can start 1 or 2 or 3, which one first, which one second, and who will stay to the end. Keep going. I want to take you for another checkpoint, Hawara, going to Nablus. Hawara wasn't easy too. They took us to the side, Hawara. We're not supposed to pass with our vehicles, not even Israeli, one with the tag, or Palestinian, one with the Israeli number on it. So we rent a guy that he have his card, And before that, the PCRF asked me, and this is nice story here, to go to the West Jerusalem, to Israeli Jewish Orthodox doctor, and borrow from him some instruments. So if you look down, there is a platin box in the bottom here. That's from the Israeli Jewish Orthodox doctor who give us for 1 week help to serve in Nablus, Rafadi Hospital. And I took the suitcase, went down his steps, thinking about it. My God, if, you know, it's funny. It's okay, I like it. We took care of his suitcase as like I'm taking care of the diamonds. We have to count them, make sure nothing is missing from the instruments. So when I finish coming out of Nablus, I go back to him, give him the suitcase, bye-bye, Lehitraot. Arrive in Rafidiya Hospital with all the suitcases, and the leader of us, Dr. Khalid Abu Ghazali, this is the treasure box, we can't lose it. Because inside Nablus, they don't have these instruments. And to bring this instrument from United States, I have a story to tell you why we are afraid sometimes to carry this. Because Dr. Imad Tabri, the open heart cases in 2003, we were together, 2004, we were together when Israel at Erez took all his diamond instruments. It's micro instrument that we use it on the heart to suture the veins or the artery in the heart. They took it for him and they told him, you can go. When you coming out, we give your instruments. Okay, with all that, he went into Gaza with no instruments in his hand. We use what we have. And when he came out, they let the dog stiff him. And he's a doctor. He can have his vacation time in the best and the wonderful place in Paris, Marseille, or anywhere. He decided on his vacation time to go to Gaza and save some lives. That's his story. So sometimes it's hard for us to collect all the instruments, so we borrow them from the Israeli Jew. Anyway. This is another way to go to Jenin. We can't go because the tank blocking our roads. So Steve Sosby was the driver, and he said, let's follow the cow. And I call it the cow road because this guy, he is from a farm. He knows the detour road, so we don't know where we're going. Just follow him. So we did, and we succeed. This is negotiate between Steve Sosby on the side, negotiate with the Israeli. Coming out of Jenin, they don't want us to get out of Jenin. So he is negotiate with them to let us come out. This is in Jericho last year, screening some children, so we can, the following day, we have to start with our operations list. This is one of the children, this is in Ramallah Hospital. What I like to show you here between two anesthesiologists, American anesthesiologists, and because it's lack of respiratory tubing to connect it to the child is very short, and we try to use it many, many times. The struggling between to pass the doctor on one side and pass all the tubing. In the meantime, I have to take care of the baby. And we did a cleft plate for children with congenital diseases and problems. The #1 killer in the hospital we faced there was the infections, diseases that's not usual. You see it in other countries. And 20% is disability and premature death in the population of West Bank and Gaza. It's the open heart cases, and this is the lack of instruments, drapes, and Mayo stands, a stand that we cover the patient with. This is one of the cases we did that he had a bullet went through his lower face. So we implant trips and we implant on his 2 jaws. And next day we check hands, he was in safe. This is the Mexican team working with us hand in hand, and they provide mostly they are, except one Jordanian and the rest from Mexico. And we do, this is the case on the guy with the, we implant his ribs, from his ribs we implant on his jaw. And I'm on one side, the other doctors on the other side, we suturing. And we did it nighttime because we were having a short time between 3 rooms to run, and we did 65 cases in 1 week. Running from one room to another, we had good people helping there to talk about their hospitality and teamwork. This is kind of patient we see children burn from the Israeli bombs, tear gas, whatever, all the acid they use, and keep going. And I like to talk, all these children, we try to keep, either bring them to United States if we don't have the facility to work with them there, but we do our best there. And the goal of PCRF for next year and the following year, we try to build a pediatric open heart cases. Is already established in Al-Maqasid in East Jerusalem, but we like to have a stronger one in Gaza. We have another one coming for urology, which is the kidneys and the bladder for children, because the children are the first suffering. What I like to say, since he gave me a short time, I like to finish it with my message. My message is, as well as we all see throughout this painful conflict, it is the children who suffer most. Their survival depends on the PCRF work. My hope is not to make you feel bad, but to make you understand and take an action. Speak up, act now. Every child has the right for health care, service, and education. It's a difficult and important path to reach for justice and peace for all under Israel's colony state. Israel must work toward dignity and equality for all. Israel must follow United Nations resolution of Palestine right to return to one country for all, and make Israel, many, many Israelis will be proud of that. Thank you.